called Marking Day. That's on the page 30 of the Vanguard newspaper. Then on the page 19, we have Oyedele pushes for result-driven reforms, stronger regional task cooperation. He's your Minister for Finance. He's also interested in his office. Then we have okay. This one is said is we have just something like a promotion on at the far right. Saying Golden Bridge Asset Management opens National Assembly branch office, promise innovative financial solution for clients. Okay, that one is just by the way. So then let me just chime in a little bit of Mr. and Mrs. Oh no, we might not have too much time for that, but you can go to the Vanguard newspaper for more information on what you're seeing on your screen. Just to chime in and also keep yourself abreast of what is going on within you and around you. From the Vanguard newspaper, let's dive into the next newspaper. The next newspaper is the Punch newspaper. The Punch newspaper. Federal government ends United Nations-led humanitarian coordination on the page 7. The guy we're seeing on your screen's name is Duru. That's on the page 7 of the Punch newspaper. So we are punching it in this morning. Punching it into the Punch newspaper. We have Reps dump own state police bill. Adopt Tinubu's version. That's on the page 9 of the Punch newspaper. Then on your abduction, we have Senate SGF fault Makinde's UN probe demands. That is on the page 8 of the Punch newspaper. The picture of the side person is just Okpabio. Okpabio's face is just shown there as one of the top gaffer when it comes to the Senate. Then still on the Punch newspaper, we have on 2027 race, INEC recognized Atiku 470 ADC candidates. Yes, people will say it's about time. It's about time. Politics is about contestation. Without contestation, we don't have politics. So that's a good one there. Then from there, on fake agency scandal, which is also called the Phantom scandal, we have how IGP Special Forces arrested controversial DG in Oshun hideout. That's on the page 2. Then some punchlines here is inside the 1-week manhunt that led to Adeyemi's arrest. Then Abuja High Court postpones arraignment until September 30. Then NBA orders push for evidence-driven investigation. Evidence-driven investigation. I think that one is timely. Then on the front banner, the picture you're seeing on the front banner is Tears Joyce as adopted Oyo pupils reunite with parents. Now we can see the sling of hand. We are too religious in this country. And because of the religion, maybe that's why we are still keeping the hope alive. We don't want to fight any war. But that is not imminent. For now, we are on the papers of the Punch. Now, still punching. We are punching with saying that the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria ride booking app triggers airport taxi roll. He said yes. Well, if you're booking rides, the airport taxi says, how would we eat? We've been here before. All these people came, but there's room for change. But I believe you guys just said that. That's on the page 30 of the Punch newspaper. Like I told you, we are punching the Punch. The Punch newspaper. Then from there, manhunt begins for killers of Lagos and NURTW leader. Okay, that's the person you're seeing is none other than Sego. Sego, the killing of Toba, which is in Munchi. That's just what you're saying. Now that's on the page 4 for more stories on that. Then federal government grants Shell 11.5 barrel tax credit to unlock $20 billion investment. That is on the page 3 of the Punch newspaper. Then we are done with the Punch newspaper this morning. We want to dive into the next newspaper. The next newspaper is none other than Conscious Nurtured by Truth. Conscious Nurtured by Truth. On the Conscious Nurtured by Truth, we have Still on the Phantom story, you know, the PFIPC calls growth for Senate by Jabiamila probe as police arrest Adeyemi. That's on the page 3 on the Guardian newspaper. Reps query on OAGF over deduction from MDA statutory funds. That's on the page 3. Go to see more of that story on the page 3 of the Guardian newspaper. Okpabio Abbas defend decision to prioritize Tinubu state police bill. That's on the page 3 of the Guardian newspaper. On the Guardian newspaper, we just read the one on the top, the far top with the stories. Then by your left, coming little below by your rest, above what is saying as a front banner, we have the APC NWC overrules Alia Ayedatiwa on candidates list. That's on the page 5 of the Guardian newspaper. Don't forget, it is conscience nurtured by truth. That's from the page 5 of the Guardian newspaper. We're moving to the page 7 where we have battle for regulations may cripple power reforms. That's NERC warrant, which is known as National Electrical Regulation Commission. The picture you're seeing on your screen is that of Tegbe. Tegbe is representing himself very well. That's on the page 7. You can go to the page 7 and chime in for yourself. Then Orire kidnapping, Senate lawyer CSOs divide over Makinde push for United Nations probe. That's on the page 6 on the Guardian newspaper. Then on the front burner of the Guardian newspaper, we have UN scales down humanitarian intervention hands over institutions. That on the page 29. Then weather forecast predicts daily rain for the next 10 days. For those of you who are not friendly with taking umbrella because you forget it, this is for you. Now the weather forecast has come, and the weather forecast has come to stay. Now it's telling you that if you don't want, you should get something to hide yourself. Then we are seeing the picture of the Minister of Finance and Coordination Minister of the Economy, Mr. Taiwo Oyedele, with some of the MD CEO of eTransact PLC, Niyi Toluwalope, and ED government rehabilitation special project. That's the picture you're seeing on the rear side of your screen, on the rear side of the Guardian newspaper. Now the Guardian newspaper has so much more on stories, and it is well documented. So you can go to the Guardian newspaper for more of their stories. Now from the Guardian newspaper, we are entering the Nation. The Nation newspaper. PENCOM holds to police pension. That's on the Nation newspaper. That's PENCOM. That's talks about pension for the police people. That's on the page 11. Then on executive bill on state police gets to House. We've read that to you. That's on the page 39. Then global markets leadership validates president reform. That's 39 on the Nation's newspaper. Then federal government begins vocational training for 18,000 Nigerians. That's on the page 6. I hope people are ready to touch and feel this training, and I hope it gets to the heart of the southern and the northern people. So then on Marking Day, under fire, overcall for the UN probe. We've read that much time. You could go to the page 3 and see more of that. The Nation newspaper on the page 3 will give you more stories on the Marking Day. Then water is life. From left, we have the FCT minister, and yes, on Wike, First Lady Oluremi Tinubu, and the FCT minister, State, Dr. Maria Mahmood, during inauguration of the 198-kilometer water pipeline network in Dwari, Abuja. That's what you're seeing on your screen. Now, the world is celebrating blue economy. Nigeria is still trying to put water in the federal capital territory. We are not moving backward. We are moving forward. Upward is the movement. Then on fake agency, you can go to the newspaper on the page two. On the page two, on fake agency, that's you're seeing at DME counting, looking as if it's dejected. You can go to see what is fair and what is not. And we read that to you on the Shell business. Now that's on the page two. Deep water business for Shell. That's on the page two of the Nation's newspaper. Then on xenophobia, evacuees from South Africa now 1,426. As last batch of the 315 arrives. That's you can go there and see if you have friends and family, or because of humanitarian reasons, you can go and see the page 6 of the Nation's newspaper to chime in your support for humanity. And it's getting more excited now. We're entering the trust of the day, which is known as the Daily Trust. The next paper you'll be seeing on your screen that I'll be taking here is the Daily Trust newspaper. On the Daily Trust newspaper, we have Phantom Council DG detained, but Jabiamila listed as witness. That will be very interesting. That's on the page 4 and on the page 5. They want to chime in on it. Then we have assessing 3 years of Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf's leadership. Yes, Abba Kabir Yusuf leadership. Yeah, that's a promotional for Kano State. You can see that's what you have on the front burner. It's just like a whole page is dedicated for Kano State here. Then that's promotional. That's all we have for Daily Trust newspaper. I believe they should have something better than this, but they have what they could have because that's the news they carry. And most of these are promotionals. Then from the Daily Trust newspaper, we want to dive into the next newspaper, and the next newspaper is none other than the Daily Times. Yes, so we're going to the Daily Times for today. We have despite 873 billion naira budget for the 2027 election, INEC 6 improved funding, staff welfare for RMAFC budget is nearly 3 times that of 2023. Now the big question is that why don't we just do a singular presidential rule? They passed that bill, they passed that paper. The question there is that they say they need more money and they are having billions, billions and billions. Now the big question is that how effective are these things? And the welfareism under security and insecurity, that is also part of what they are looking about. As it is now, go to the pages of the Daily Times newspaper to chime in 1 or 2 things for yourself. Then on the saga of the Phantom saga still continues on the page 2 of the Daily Times, and still on the page 2, you still have the Phantom saga continuing as the Daily Times is just chiming in. That is what you have on the front banner. Below the front banner, you have the picture of the DG known as Adeyemi. Now, the NYC threatens to blacklist employers who deny corps member accommodation and transport. That one is another thing that I believe that should be on a good course and it should be discussed. There should not be threats. Then apart from that, we are going to the top window stories. The top window story, we have Dangote refinery adopts dollar pricing for petrol and naira denominated sales. I hope it will not start any inflation because naira for naira would have been good. But the federal government has just chipped it in here. You can go to the Daily Times to see more of that. Then on sports, we're going to do digest on this very soon. On sports, we have Spain through to the World Cup final. Knocks out France. France still have a game to play in the 3rd place match. But let's see if Kylian Mbappe will carry the day when it comes to the Golden Boot. He has 8 goals. Messi has 8 goals. But his goals are faster than that of Lionel Messi. It is not a joke. France has bowed out. Now, the Roja has continued. That is what we're seeing on the top window stories of the Daily Times today. The Daily Times today. So you can just go to the Daily Times and chime in to that pick your portion and keep yourself more abreast of what is happening all around you. And that will be all we can take for you on the newspaper review. Want you to stay tuned, go nowhere, and we are coming back to the studio, we want you to stay tuned, go nowhere. In some minutes time, you will be having the Business Daily all around the globe. Then the Business Daily will be taken by Precious Olushayo. Now, I'm once again Michael Armstrong. Like I said, we read from the Daily Times. From the Daily Times, we went to Daily Trust, to The Nation, The Guardian, The Punch, The Vanguard newspaper. That is all we read for you this morning. So stay tuned for more information. It's still at the status, and it's still good morning. Stay tuned.
Dental care. Caring for the teeth is one of the simplest yet most important habits anyone can cultivate, because oral health goes far beyond a bright smile. The teeth play a vital role in helping us chew food properly, speak with clarity, and carry ourselves with confidence. When neglected, however, they can become damaged or decayed, leading not only to pain and loss of teeth, but also to health problems that affect the entire body. The human mouth is home to hundreds of bacteria. While many of these organisms are harmless, some can be destructive if they are allowed to build up due to poor oral hygiene. When teeth and gums are not cared for, these bacteria cause tooth decay, cavities, gum disease, bad breath, and in severe cases, infections that may spread to other parts of the body. This is why dentists emphasize the importance of regular cleaning and daily care of the teeth from an early age. Brushing twice a day, morning and night, with a soft bristle toothbrush and fluoride toothpaste helps remove plaque and food particles. Flossing once a day cleans the tight spaces that a toothbrush cannot reach, while rinsing with a fluoride or antibacterial mouthwash helps kill harmful germs, straighten enamel, and keep the breath fresh. Beyond cleaning, the food and drink choices we make have a significant effect on oral health. Reducing sugary snacks and carbonated drinks while eating more fruits, vegetables, dairy products, and nuts can make a real difference. Drinking plenty of water also helps wash away leftover food and supports saliva production, which is nature's way of protecting the teeth. Even with consistent home care, professional dental checkups remain essential. Visiting a dentist at least twice a year allows early detection of problems before they become serious, ensures a thorough cleaning of areas that are hard to reach at home, and provides professional advice on proper dental habits. For children, dental care should begin as soon as the first tooth appears, with parents guiding them until they are old enough to brush and floss effectively on their own. Teenagers must also be mindful of proper care, particularly if they wear braces or retainers. A healthy set of teeth is a lifetime investment that reflects discipline and self-care. When well maintained, it boosts self-esteem, keeps the mouth and body healthier, and saves the pain and cost of preventable problems. In the end, we only get one set of adult teeth, and they deserve to be cared for daily and protected with regular dental visits. A confident, healthy smile is not just about appearance, it is about overall well-being.
To early starters on Operatune Television, and it is time for Global Business Update. Precious Lushayo is my name, and as usual, we'll be taking you through the world of business via the Business Day newspaper. All right, quickly from the front page of the Business Day newspaper comes this major story. Shortly, you have that on your screen. It says Nigerians' inflation to hold near 15.9% on stable naira, and of course with a rider. It says forecast strengthened case as MPC hold next week. All right, a peek into the story says Business Day's inflation news case estimate headline inflation at 15.9% in June, with a likely range of 15.7 to 16.1%. ahead of the National Bureau of Statistics official release on July 15th. If confirmed, the figure would marginally below May's 15.93%, ending 3 consecutive months of rising inflation. I beg your pardon. But the significance lies less in the small decline than what it suggests. All right, page 30 of the Business Day newspaper has the rest of that story. All right, let's move away and head inside the Business Day newspaper. FD offers land to investors for mass housing projects. That's a good development there. And funds ride booking app triggers airport taxi route. Okay, marketers, authors reject Dangote fuel pricing in dollars. Of course, I knew there were going to be a backlash as regards Dangote coming out with the decision of selling its fuel in dollars. Okay, let's take a quick sip into the story. Independent petroleum marketers and energy experts have rejected the Dangote Petroleum Refinery's decision to introduce United States dollar-dominated pricing for petroleum products, warning that the move could worsen foreign exchange pressures and trigger fresh instability in the downstream sector. Well, the stakeholders who spoke in separate interviews argued that while the refinery as a private business had the right to make commercial decisions, pricing locally consumed petroleum products in dollars could have wider economic implications. The Petroleum Products Retail Outlets Owners Association of Nigeria faulted the development, saying dollar-based fuel transactions could gradually push the country towards a dollarized economy and undermine efforts to stabilize the petroleum market. All right, inside Business Day, you have the rest of this story. Marketers, authors reject a Dangote fuel pricing in dollars. All right, and of course, there you find the full details where explanation was given as the reason for rejecting the dollarization. All right, let's go to other stories. This one says expert push innovation to accelerate energy transition. FD grants Shell $11.5 dollar barrel tax credit to unlock $20 billion investment. Okay, Nigerian pursuing historic reforms. Minister tells employers. NCC consults stakeholders on free educational internet access. All right, FD inaugurates advisory committee to deepen economic reforms. And of course, let's move away from that and check all the business story inside the Business Day newspaper. All right, this one says oil output increased by 2% in first half of 2026. That's according to a report. This one says bank can boost a pension asset from 20.7 million naira to 31.48 trillion naira in 2 years. Okay, that's a massive growth there. Oil surveillance operations can achieve 1 trillion naira economy. That's according to stakeholders. Customs foils 26.57 billion naira drug smuggling bid at Apapa port. While this one says multiple taxation, high rates constrain businesses, and that's according to a CBN survey. All this inside the Business Day newspaper. And still a Business Day, Nigeria, West Africa to act on new submarine cable recommendations. Tinubu backs tougher sanctions for engineers, contractors. Okay, let's move away from that. And this other one, WTO Gulf conflict threatens fertilizer trade, food security. So Nigerians should brace up. All right. Tinubu rallies Afrexim Bank to accelerate Africa's industrialization. This one says equities rebound as capitalization rises to 719 billion naira. All right. This one says business confidence weakens as rising costs weigh on firms' operation. Okay. Africa's oil chiefs set Cape Town agenda for refining, trade, energy, financing. Okay. All right. Two more stories, but this time around, let's go to the front page of the Business Day newspaper. Now, from the front page, we have this other story that, of course, we stated that FD grant Shell tax credit to unlock $20 billion a deep water project. So I just like to let's see if we can take a quick peek into the story. Okay, it said Nigeria has granted Shell PLC a production linked tax credit for a deep water oil project, an incentive that may be extended to other major oil companies as Africa's biggest crude producer works to reverse years of declining output, according to people familiar with the matter. All right, well, the rest of it, page 31, just check the front page of the Business Day newspaper. There's a whole lot of details as regards this development, that is FD granting Shell tax credit to unlock $20 billion a deep water project. So let's move away from that story. And from the left-hand corner of the front page of the Business Day newspaper comes this headline: Fresh attacks keep Plateau Benue farmers off field as a bloodshed escalates, and with a rider over 1.5 million displaced. Okay, a quick sip into the details. For years, Plateau and Benue states, two of Nigeria's major food producing states, have witnessed recurring attacks by armed groups, leaving behind a trail of death, displacement, and destruction. Beyond the heavy human toil, the violence has steadily eroded agricultural activities, forcing many residents to abandon their farms and livelihoods. The persistent insecurity has significantly affected food production across the north-central region. Communities known for producing maize, yam, rice, cassava, potatoes, vegetables, and other staple crops have repeatedly suspended activities. All right, the rest of it, quite interesting story there. Just grab a copy of the Business Day, and inside, just check page 31 for the rest of that business update. All right, let's move to the right-hand corner of the front page of the Business Day newspaper. Below the masthead, we have this start chart lowest rate cut outlook ahead of MPC meeting, page 30. And finally, quickly, with this report, Naira course as Dangote's dollar base, a few sales lift FX demand. Wow, we saw that coming. And of course, like marketers and of course, other retailers have come out, of course, to kick against the dollarization of petrol itself. So part of the issue, that is part of the reason why marketers have come out to refuse Dangote from selling petrol in dollars is the fact that it will affect the dollar, because right now from this report it's stating clearly that the naira itself has been deregularized, in the sense that now we now have higher demand in dollars. So, but anyways, we hope the government will swing in and of course probably wave its magic wand and resolve this whole issue. All right, page 31 has the rest of that story, and with that story we'll wrapping up a global business report this morning on Operatune Television. But thank you so much for joining us, and coming up next is Operatune Sport with Michael Armstrong. Of course, who's already standing by to give you details, of course, as regards the World Cup. All right, Precious Lucia is my name. Good morning.
Agbele. Join us as we interview people on the streets of Agbele and ask them some questions relating to the country.
Well, we are in Nigeria, but things is already hard as at this moment now. Everybody know what is going on in Nigeria now. Things is not okay for every one of us in this Nigeria. But we are trying our best. But you know that we have government, but we still pray for government. Maybe if they can more try for a lot of people. So a lot of people are crying, silent, because there's no money. All things is already cost on this world. So that is why we are just managing what we are seeing. So there's no food, there's no money. If there's money now, we are going to find something to buy. But there's no money. Things already hard.
At all, it's not flourishing well. It's due to capital. Moreover, people are complaining based on capital and transport. It's even affecting our business. Especially, I'm also an egg dealer as well. The rate to buy the market today is not the price of buying it next week.
Ṣé rí ọjà wa ọ̀wọ́n lọ́wọ́n ni gbogbo ọjà tá à ń rà. A dẹ̀ wá wò yí pé kí la fẹ́ ṣe. Láàárọ̀ ìbáyìí ní ìsìn àwọn káńsù ti wá sọ́dọ̀ wa. Kò síbi tá ti fẹ́ jẹun. Kò síbi tá ti fẹ́ jẹun tó ti ń lé wa pé a gbọ́dọ̀ tajà. Àwa dẹ̀ la fà wọ́n pé ó yá kí wọ́n lè túlù wa ìṣe. Ká lè rí jẹ ká lè rí. Ṣó dìgbà tí gbogbo wa bá kú tán ni. Kò dẹ̀ síkú kọ̀ọ̀kan lójú gbogbo wa. Gbogbo wa ní kúkú òjijì. Ṣó ti yé yín? Kó jẹ́ káwa náà jẹun ká yó. Kí ìlú yìí kó dẹ̀rọ̀ fún gbogbo wa. Torí gbà tí ebi bá ń pa wá, ó ti dandan a máa ronú. Tá bá ronú ikú ti dé nìyẹn. Àmọ́ tí a bá dẹ̀ ti ronú tá bá ti kú gbogbo ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ wá dọ́wọ́ yín o. Ní òkèèrè náà wọ́n sọ pẹ̀lú Nàìjíríà is best. So kí wá dé tá nira wa lára. Ká má máa nira wa lára oúnjẹ wọn. Ibi tá máa tajà wá tún máa dà wá láàmú. Kò yẹ kó rí bẹ́ẹ̀. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ bá wa fi ètò sí.
I'm just a normal person, but life is so hard. Everything is hard. It's like, well, everybody's keep up.
Yeah, I would say yes and also no, because the system, the country is really affecting us also. As a musician, it's really affecting us because most times transportation is really demanding, but we thank God.
No, I would not really, because the economy and everything is so bad. So business is not really going well. But in all, we are pushing it. So yeah.
I'm talking about the economy, talking about the situation of the country. It's obviously biting and unbearable, but we are just trusting that the government will look into it and be able to mitigate with the situation and give us a soft landing to make the country a habitable place. We are blessed, really, no doubt about that. But I think what we are lacking is good governance, which I believe the government should put a taking camp and see how to make it work for us. Then talk about the food and the provision as it is. Because of the poor governance, there's relative scarcity and the food scarcity, as the case may be. But I just believe that the whole power lies in the government to be able to lead us well.
As you can see, we are done on the streets of Agbele, and thank you for joining us today. If you have your own opinion, you can also ask us and share it with us on our channel, either on our social media platform, the Facebook, the Instagram, the TikTok, the YouTube, and even on Nigeria TV app. Thank you for joining us today. I am Vivian.
Okay, that is it's about that time again. This is your sports update, your sports news from the dailies, and being our tradition, we're taking the dailies from today paper all around the globe. We're starting with the Morning Star. The Morning Star Sports. We started with the Morning Star Sports. And on the Morning Star Sports, we have nothing less than a potpourri of different events of what is happening around the globe on sports. Then on the front burner, we have Glasgow relishing Forest Challenge. That's a Glasgow on the Morning Star Sports. That's on men's football. That's what you're seeing on your screen. Now, if you don't know Glasgow is the former coach of Crystal Palace, but Crystal Palace learned from what happened to West Ham after winning an European title. They relegated 2 years later, so they don't want what Glasgow, even though Glasgow won the cup for them, but the league, they were almost at the relegation zone, so they did not want to continue. But now they just told him that the Austrian boss says patience is key as he begins City Ground rebuild. Glasgow is the second time, two-time European winner, or 3 times European winner. He won with Frankfurt, he won with Crystal Palace, he also won with another team. Now he's at the Forest. Now the Forest, is this game going to pan out very well for them? Then on men's cycling, still on the Morning Star Sports on men's cycling, we have Pogacar extends Tour de France lead on Bastille Day. That's Pogacar. Pogacar is one of the top seeded to win the Tour de France. Now, the Tour de France it's a cycling that takes for over 800 kilometers. At times, they do more than that. Not just the 800 kilometers. There's one they also rearrange themselves. They rearrange themselves for maybe 2 or 3 days just to rerun and take stocks. That's what you're seeing on your screen. We have Pogacar. Stay tuned on the station for more information. Then, still on men's football, the IOC complaint filed against Infantino over Trump's. That's the International Olympic Committee complaint filed against Infantino over Trump links. Now, the thing there, a lot of people are saying what is happening between Trump and Infantino. They don't want to let it lie, and they're trying to, a potpourri of different events. You can go to see that on your Morning Sports. Morning Sports is your dailies for today that we've just taken. And from the Morning Sports, the inside, you say you're going to see the other side of the hand of God. Now, the hand of God is popularly known in football for Diego Armando Maradona against England, and they went on to win that match 2-1. But they say without that hand of God, they would not have won the match. So today, we are going to see the hand of God. Hopefully, God will come down from heaven to show his hand. That's what a lot of people are saying. And that's all from the Morning Star Sports. From the Morning Star Sports, we will be moving to the next newspaper. The next paper that will be brought before you is the Herald Sport. The Herald Sport. We have Grim McGarry. Why do beefed up football beginners others ignore chants about tragedies? That's on the back page. The big boy, the big man, Grim McGarry is saying that. So you go to the back page of the Herald Sports to see that. Then from there on the Open, Rose released his amateur dramatic Royal Bractale 28 years on from Triumph. That's what you're going to see on the page 2 and 3 of the Herald Sports. Then on the Herald Sports, we have inside, they say it's 12 page, we have a midweek sense there. Then we also have that for Dan Neal. Dan Neal, News Rangers signing, insists he will thrive under pressure at Ibrox. The new Rangers signing, they are signing players. So this one said he's going to thrive. His name is Dan Neal. He's going to thrive under pressure. Then from John Daisel, Scotland coach reveals key trio will sit out Fiji encounter. That is on cricket. Yes, the Fiji encounter for Scotland. So the game is on the way, and a lot of people are following cricket. Do well to follow this channel and continue to support the sport of your choice. Then on the front burner is Spain send World Cup favorites packing to advance to final. That's on the page 9. What is written there is adios France. Now Kylian Mbappe could not find his footing. We'll give you more of that information. Stay tuned on this channel. From the Herald Sports paper, we want to move to the next newspaper. The next newspaper is Punch Sports Extra. Now, the next newspaper, we have Nadozie Top's Women's Super League Keepers Chart. If you don't know Nadozie is the Nigerian keeper. That's on the page 6. The Nigerian keeper for the Falcons, the female football team in Nigeria. That's on the page 6 of the Punch Sports Extra. Then, still on the page 6, Falcons to battle Ghana in pre-WAFCON friendly. Now, the Ghanaian women have a very strong-willed women. I've been to Ghana. They have a very strong-willed women. They say they want to see if they can match toe-to-toe with the Falcons. The Falcons are 10 times winner. Now we are looking if they can retain the title for the 11th time. Now they say no-brainer, but they are ready to contest. That's on the page 6. Go to the page 6 for more information. Then Amusan secure 2026 Diamond League final sport. If you don't know Amusan is the Nigerian sprinter who is not afraid to wear the flag. She's one of the best in the world, and she also won a lot of league. And when it comes to athletics, she is also a diamond to chime in. So I'm not surprised when she'll be at the Diamond League final, known as Final 2. The Amusan is on the page 6. You can go there and get more information for yourself. Now, on what happened yesterday, we are seeing the picture of Pedro Porro, too hot for France. La Roja, I call them the La Fura, La Roja, the era of kings. La Roja means the royals. March into first final since 2010. You know, the one in South Africa, where they have a lot of things happening in the world of sports presently. In South Africa, they won the one in South Africa. That's why they have a league in South Africa. They have a training ground in South Africa just to celebrate their winnings. That is on. You can go to that on the page 7. On the page 7 to see more of that story. But stay tuned. That will give you more information. Now we are seeing Kylian Mbappe offing up the sweat on his forehead. It is not a joke. Like some people will say, this is not my. But we should not continue with this. Just stay tuned on the station. And come on now, today's bout is going to be with the Three Lions and the Celestials, which is known as the Argentum, the silver team, known as Argentina. Now, a lot of things, there have been a lot of higi-haga and a lot of rivalries since 1966 and also 1986. So today, let us see if we will still see the hand of God. A lot of people are saying the hand of God. It's not to be derogated, but we're planning for the best. Not to take much of your time. We can also go that for see more of that on the page 2 as O'Reilly announces that there might be a hand of God, and he said rare mercy challenge that England should stand up. Let it be an all Europe final. So it is not a joke. Then let us move to transfers. We have Fulham close to Nwewu, the Nigerian Gatling gun. It's Nwewu, and Fulham is trying to sign away with us on the page 6. Then on the page 4, we have Alonso wants Enzo to stay. That's on the page 4. Then Liverpool keen on Bacola on the page 4. Alvarez rejects EPL return on the page 8. Do not blame him. If you speak Spanish, you have to be part of the España. So don't blame Alvarez. He doesn't want to come to Arsenal. The formation Arsenal is taken and the money taken is too big. But he doesn't want to come to Arsenal. Then for biggest controversies of 2026 World Cup, you go to the page 5 for the biggest controversy of the 2026 World Cup. Then for transfers, we still have United gets Dalot for free. Yes, United have gotten Gallo for free. We just spoke about transfer. We told you about Alonso, Enzo. We told you about Endo Fernandez, Bacola going to Liverpool. The Alvarez don't want to come to Arsenal. Then United get Dalot for free. And that will be all. You stay tuned to the station. That will be all what we have for you today. What we have for you this morning. Talking about sports dailies. And yes, that's what we have for you. None other than Michael Armstrong will be heading directly to the discussion segment, and we are discussing something at the wheel of you and something of your information. So stay tuned, go nowhere. It is Michael Armstrong on Early Status.
In recent months, the prices of gas continue to climb, putting pressure on many household budgets and forcing many to seek alternative measures just to cook their food. But how does this inflation affecting people, and how are they coping? What do they think about it, and how do they think it can be tackled? Let's find out from Nigerians.
Well, my views concerning the inflation and especially the price of gas, it's a very terrible situation because for me, I know what caused it is Pengasan strike. But, because Pengasan were angry with Dangote, but personally, I think Dangote is right. Because Pengasan said it's because Dangote sacked their members. But Dangote said they were sabotaging his company. This company cost like $20 billion. Nobody in Nigeria has ever done this. Even Nigerian government cannot operate their own refinery. But Dangote is doing something nice. Now Pengasan wants to spoil everything. I support Dangote 100%. So now we are buying gas for like at least 1.5, 2.5 per kilo, per whatever. So it's terrible. So me, I'm on the side of Dangote. I think Dangote is right. And federal government should do everything to protect the company. Because if Dangote falls now, that company falls, we're in serious trouble. We were using gas, but now getting, like yesterday now, my brother went to buy gas. He spent like 8 hours before he could get, and they only sold 2 kg. So now we use charcoal, and we don't eat like 3 times again. We cook once and then warm the food later.
This Nigeria don't tire me. Gas 2005, 2015. It don't tire me. I don't like am at all. As I dey so, I know they cook food in time. Or else never bring light. Shey that one good in Nigeria? E no good. E don't tire me. Make gas slow down. 500, 1,000, 800 naira sef. This Lagos now, why don't tire me?
Since few days later now, we are bothering about gas and hungry want to kill me inside. I'm using firewood every day by day. Gas now is almost 1,800, 2,000, 2,015 naira. For what? And we have presidents, we have governor in this country, and we have suffered. Even woman can't cook again, except it's using firewood, and we have gas at home. What is really happening? Please help us to beg our government, our president.
Actually, we always buy like 800, 1,000, 112. So presently we are like 2,000 naira. Please, if it is possible, they should just help us to find something to do to it. Because before, people always using firewood, all this charcoal. Now they thought gas will be easier, so we rush into gas. Now we don't even know what to do. Why is it 2,000 naira? Because it's not everybody that can even afford that 2,000 naira of 18 of that is 1 kg 2,000 naira. Please, it is much. We should just help us to do something to it, to make it easier for us, because we are complaining everything. Nigeria government, is it government or we that we are doing it? We don't know. They should just help us, because it's not easy for us to it's not everybody that can even afford that 2,000 naira. You cannot, it's too much, it's too expensive. They should just help us to bring it down to like 800, if possible. 800 naira is okay by us. I will be glad if government can help us to do it. Even the crowd is much, we could not even get it here, as in nearby. We will be running up and down again, like using like 200 naira 500 naira to go and get gas.
We are just trying to please with the government. They should try and find something to do about it, so that people can feel in a better way, because this stress is too much. Like the area we are now, there are a lot of people that always be on queue from day to night, like 3 days, like a week now. It has been happening often and often like that. So we are just begging the government to work about it, most especially Bola Ahmed Asiwaju. So he's our president, and we are begging him. For us, a lot of things are happening apart from the gas. Even the petrol price, everything is going up, and a lot of people are suffering. But this about the gas issue right now, that one is very, very bad, because these are the things people are using to survive, to cook as at now. So we are just begging the government, let's try to do something about it.
The gas is going for 2,000 naira per kg, which is on a very high rate for, and we know what is going on in the country per se. Everything has been escalated. The money is not even coming as we expected. The inflow is very short. People are struggling to live, to survive, and now coupled with the escalation in the price of gas, it's really a lot. It's telling a lot on the citizens of this country, and I don't know. I think the government should come and address this situation.
Something concerning scarcity of gas in the country. Really, we should know where the source of the gas is from. We don't need to even lack, or we don't need to suffer, because right away from the source in Port Harcourt, in Warri, in even where it originated, that is Solo Ibiri. From there, they were burning gas up. It's just of recent that they want to get technology of trapping this gas for sales, like the recent scarcity that we are still in now. In fact, I really suffered. What I was paying, what we were buying at this filling station, just 1,050 naira or 1,100. But you believe that today this morning I bought it 1,005. Why? Just because of union, NUPEG and Pegasus, they are fighting Dangote. Why? You know the time they have established petroleum, NNPC, in this country since 1956. Since 1956, that has been in existence. And we don't need to suffer this, either petrol or kerosene or anything that relating to oil at all in this country. But because of politics, and I would rather say it's ignorance or greediness of our leaders, greediness of our politicians. For example, the union, we need to have union, because I'm a retired civil servant in Lagos State. I belong to a union, and if there is any problem facing any of our workers, we tell the government to do the needful. But if they did not do, we resort to strike. But this strike that they resorted to doesn't need to come up at all. They need to resolve it amicably before they brought it out. And why do they bring it out? Is greediness. To me, NNPC. Since NNPC has been in existence, what have we gained? Is lie upon lie. Speaking the truth or facing the real thing that is happening and the NNPC, to speak the truth. Our leaders and officials, they will not speak the truth. Just because of what? Money. Or if anybody wants to do something good, they will look, this is somebody, either Yoruba or Hausa or Igbo, that wants to do something good. We use one means to discourage or destroy anything that he wants to do. Like what happened recently now, what I see there is it doesn't need to come up at all. See our refinery, we have 4 refineries in this country, and there's no one has ever produced since I think since around 90s that we have enjoyed NNPC. All other till the present day is lie. It's only they cannot face the truth. They will say they are producing how many barrels. It's a lie. How can we dig well oil that God gave us? We now transport it outside the country and refine it outside the country and bring it back to the country for sales. It's wrong. Why can't we have our own refinery? And somebody, having been looking at all this time, that now establish his own refinery. Though we criticize that good, yeah, it is stolen money. Yes, we have that one. This one adage that in Yoruba is ogota oalaru akpi. So the civil servants have believed that even if they did not work, the salary must continue. But somebody that have private company of his own, he must definitely collect definitely work for his money. So I don't blame Dangote at all. Truly, you can belong to union. Good. I don't object that you will not belong to union. But workers of Dangote that say they want to belong to union, you are employed as what? Private. And you know you want to join union public. So let me tell you all these things that it doesn't need we don't need all this that is happening to us.
Yes, it's a very good time and a very good day, and we know it has been raining and it's a little bit cloudy, but the rain will not bring storms and flood. We pray. So this is the discussion segment, and it's Michael Armstrong on early status, and we are having quite a topic for today. The topic for today is something a lot of people have been wondering about, something a lot of people have been saying. It's about time. Some people are not even sure, and will still complain that we don't have enough hands to kitty what is called the front line of defense. Yes, we'll do justice. We have guests, and we'll also give a type of calling. But before we continue, I'm not the only one on the screen. I'm also not the only person going to talk. We have somebody with a unique and an epitome of beauty and style on your screen.
All right, thank you, Armstrong Michael, for that accolade. But anyways, the conversation this morning is not accolading. A reason being that we've been talking about the refereeing of our frontline soldiers, individuals who paid the bigger price, who risk their lives. And sometimes I ask myself, when they go to defend the nation, who is back home taking care of their loved ones, their family members? But anyways, this morning we're refereeing as we're looking at a soldier's plight to a safer nation. All right, so like the welfare of military itself, personnel remains a critical issue in every nation because the effectiveness of the armed forces is closely tied to the morale, motivation, and even the well-being of those who defend the country. Well, in Nigeria, for example, the renewed attention has, of course, been drawn to the issue of following a meeting between the military veterans and the Chief of Defense Staff's representatives. Initially, it was the CDS that the Chief of Defense Staff that they went to meet, but he wasn't available. But at least 5 of his major military personnel were there to represent him. Where, of course, the veterans themselves, they had to demand the immediate implementation of 250,000 minimum monthly pay for soldiers. And, of course, arguing that the salary itself, the salary review had already been received has already received legislative approval, backing, and the president has already assented to it, but has yet to be implemented. And of course, it begs the question, when you're talking about the importance of governance, bringing it closer to the people and the people itself feeling the impact of governance itself. Now, the demand so far has sparked fresh debate over whether Nigerian soldiers are adequately compensated for the risks they face when they are combating terrorism, banditry, kidnapping, and even other security threats of the likes. Now, it also raises broader questions about government commitment to the welfare of serving and even retired military personnel, the impact of remuneration or on morale, and of course the operational effectiveness and the balance between national security priorities and fiscal realities. Well, as Nigeria continues to confront complex security challenges, for today's discussion, we'll examine whether improved welfare is essential to strengthening the nation's armed forces, and what are the implications, and what the implications of even the veterans themselves are demanding for better pay could be for government policy and even national security. So, like Michael said this morning, we'll be having our guests who will be joining us via the phone this morning to do thorough justice, to shed more insight into the discussion this morning. As again, we're looking at refereeism, the soldiers' plight to a safer nation. But like I asked the question, now if workers' plight, this soldiers' plight are being attended to, does it guarantee a a protected, safer nation? Because at the end of the day, we also have to look at the part that, is it encouraging? Will you propel them? Will you motivate them? Will it improve their morals on the battleground? Will it increase that patriotic spirit in them, which we have seen in the past? How our fathers, majority of us who have military parents, of those rather who have military parents, how well they served the nation, how dedicated, how passionate that they were, not like the kind of military service we're having at this era. But anyways, we'll be bringing our guests on board, but we have to go on a break. But when we come back, we'll be introducing our guests. And of course, don't forget, you too, our viewers, you get to join us in the discussion this morning. So, Michael, quickly before we go to the break.
Okay, before we go on the break, the thing there is this: we do not have, we are not biased, and we are not trying to say some people are working and some are not. I spoke about military. I most of my life I've been very close to the military because of the kind of school some of us attended. Then it's pride to be on the uniform, and it's also a pride to be part of the frontliners. We are the protectorate of the Nigerian community. But the challenge here is not about protecting the people. There are those who are protecting the people, like she said, how well are they being protected? Now, they talk about pension scheme, readjustment, feeding, all that and what have you has been a challenge. And these people should be most taken care of because their life is always on the line. We don't even want to talk about what happened in Orire, where a young lieutenant lost the life. The family say we are still waiting. They should not wait. Some of our counterparts say they should just dive in and give them a particular amount to take care of themselves. But before we do this justice, let us take this break, and when we come back, we'll introduce the guest and we'll also give you the opportunity to call in. Stay tuned.
The security system in Nigeria is not okay at the moment because most of the in-between states, like if I'm from here, you are going to the north now, there are bushes between the states. The bush is too much. For me, that creation of state, it will help Nigeria to develop more. because all these bandits and criminals, they hide inside that bush. They have enough space to do their things around. If government can be able to create more states in Nigeria, I hope those bushes between states will reduce. So, and again, in a city like this, if poverty continue to enslave we as citizens like this now, people will be thinking to do bad thing. So government should put in and do youth empowerment, so that our youth can be able to get work, see better thing to do. If we are living well, I'm living well, we will not think of crime. The crime will reduce.
It's just like there are some people sponsoring the terrorists that are attacking people, and they are still they are just the same people fighting insecurity. So I don't know. So there's no way this thing will work, because they are the people that are sponsoring the insecurity are the people in government, and they are still the ones spending money for to secure our life or property. So I don't think it will work.
I would say security system in Nigeria is between good and bad. Let's put it that way. The good way is that the Nigerian government are trying. For now, we can't give a full reason for it, because I would not say they are trying for the security of Nigeria, because if you've been to some areas now, you see they already start putting the CCTV camera for the roads and the traffic. So I would say they are really, really trying. They are trying to improve our nation. So I would say a big thanks to them.
That is the most important.
7 into the discussion segment. And I hope you have your pen and papers. You also have your chest full of questions to throw out. Remember, the voice of humans is the voice of God. It's been overemphasized. So if you decide to stay silent, a lot of things will not be done. Now we are trying to introduce the guest, and the guest is none other than Comrade Daniel Shudende, a socio-political analyst. Is going to speak on the behalf of humans and military. Yes, behalf of humans and military. If we had put a military person now, you guys will say they will just be covering up and try to be, especially when you put a top military officer, they will try to give you a robust front. But since he's a comrade, we believe he will do justice and make sure the earth shakes when he talks.
And aside that, hopefully we have a balanced conversation at the end of the talk. Now we have a balanced discussion this morning. Like the way you've said it, it's not like we are being biased, but if we have to look at it, these military personnel, they risk their lives for us. So it is right for every Nigerian to stand by them. And of course, we all know how long it takes. But like you mentioned, you rightly mentioned the Uriri. It's not just that that young a soldier who lost his life. We also had others soldiers as well who died alongside, but because he's an officer, that's the reason. And just he graduated not quite long, 28 years. But anyways, aside him, they've been we've had brilliant soldiers who have also lost their lives in the course of in the course of duty, where of course they are risking their lives every day to do what to save every Nigerian out there. But anyways, we have our guest already, Comrade Daniel. Comrade, good morning, and of course thank you for joining us this morning.
Yeah, good morning, Precious, and good morning everyone, listeners at home.
Okay, all right, so this morning we're looking at the demand by military veterans, which follows their insistence that they approve 250 approved, not a suggestion, approved 250,000 naira minimum pay for the least paid soldiers should be implemented as provided in the legislation they say was passed and assented to. Well, the veterans themselves presented their case to the representatives of the Chief of Defense Staff, CDS, of course, and warned that further action could follow if implementation is delayed. Now, to you, Comrade, what are the major reasons behind the veterans' demand for a 250,000 minimum salary for soldiers?
Yeah, well, if we want to look at the statement made by the veterans, at least one of the one of the reasons cited was the fact that Nigeria, probably in Africa, is one of the least, paying nation to its military men. That is, we pay less compared to other African nations, and that is one of the bases why they are demanding for the increment. They made it clear that after a lot of research, after investigating payment to military men on other countries, Nigeria is paying the least to this military personnel. And also, if you look at the economic situation of the country also, and don't forget that these people are also human beings too. They pride is in market as we do. They have children, they have institutions, they also, they took transport and all those stuff too. The same thing as we are. So, the economy also affected them. So, when there is increase in fuel, prices there, when there is inflation, it's also affected them. So, the workers generally are clamoring for minimum wage. They also have the right to also clamor for increments in their payment. So all these things put together make them to come up with these demands.
But if we have to look at it, even as much as the Defense Minister, General Christopher Musa, has come out to confirm the salary of these soldiers themselves, 100,000 naira. But can we say the current package that they have for Nigerian soldiers, do you think it is adequate considering the security challenges they themselves face?
I don't know which one you're talking about. Is this
the 100,000 naira? As in what I'm saying?
No,
Can
you
hear me?
No, the 100,000. Yes, I can. Hello, I can hear you.
But
hello.
Like I said, do you think it is adequate enough?
No. 100,000 naira. 100,000 naira was minimum wage, or what do you call it? As take home for a young officer is nothing good at all. Considering the work they are doing, is not is out of it. And like the veterans, they have said that comparing to other nations, Nigeria is least paying. So it's obvious that for the kind of job they do, military personnel, security forces, 100,000 naira is far too small. Too small.
But let's talk about the plight now. For the implementation of the 250,000 naira. But do you think improving soldier salaries, you think it should be treated as a national security priority?
Well, I think it should be. It should be because, they are to defend the territorial sovereignty of this country. So, and their work, what they are doing, their job is so delicate, so dangerous. So, and I think their payment should be an attractive point. How do I mean? Recently, they are complaining that they have been asking so many people to join military. They put out, but people fail to join. Because for anybody that want to join the military in a country like Nigeria, the first attraction should be the payment. That is the only way you can actually see people thinking about joining military in Nigeria, because there is nothing for them to gain as a military personnel. We see the complaints every day. So their payment should be a point of attraction. So I think their increment should be treated as a matter of national,
priority.
Urgency. Priority. Yes, I agree. It should be.
So to you now, you feel the poor remuneration itself is what is affecting their morale, motivation, and even their effectiveness on ground?
Yeah, let me tell you, except for our politicians, every other work, whatever you do in life that brings you money, the reward, the salary is a motivation. So, and military also is not an exemption. And like I said, it should be an attractive point. It should be a motivation. There is no way you are going to be paying a salary. Let me be sincere with you. From the report we've been hearing, unconfirmed, but of course what we've been hearing, do you know that some of these military personnel are also involved in all this kidnapping too? They are involved.
Allegedly.
Either directly or indirectly. Yes, I said unconfirmed, but from the report we've been hearing, they know these people. But when they look at their take home too, and it's nothing to write home about. How can you say?
So because the terrorists they pay better, that's why they decide to betray their country. Hello, comrade.
To them pays better now. So with this, they can easily get manipulated. When they look at their pay, it's not 70,000 naira, 100,000 naira for a military officer that have wife and children in this economy in Nigeria. So I don't think it's something good. So
but comrade, my apology, I need you to take you up on that. Are you saying criminal attracts criminality?
Criminals attract criminality. Criminals attract criminality. Well, I don't think that's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that you can easily get attracted when you can easily be tempted. For instance, let me give you an instance. Somebody that have his mother at the hospital dying, okay, and he has an opportunity to steal, and they ask him to go and bring maybe 300,000 naira for the surgery, and he has an opportunity to steal 300,000 naira. Don't you think he will do it?
As against his moral, his values.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. When everybody can be attracted when you are in distress. That is the truth. You can't have somebody, God forbid, you have somebody dying at the hospital, somebody close to you, and you have to go and bring money. I don't say, you have money to steal that money to do it. Out of 10 people, 8 people will do it. So now I'm saying that when you get attracted, when your take home, your salaries cannot even feed you, talkless of your children and your wife, and you see opportunity in the line of duty that can quickly make you that money, it is very easier for you to fall. But if you have a salary that is, probably like 250,000 that you feel that okay, with this money, it's okay for me and my family, if there's not going to be an excess, but at least you are okay with that amount. Let me tell you, yes, you can stand up against criminality. You can stand up against temptations. And that is why I think that the federal government shouldn't be taking their payment with levity. And that is why also you see that in Nigeria, I start to be challenged. The only job that government don't joke with their salary is police. Because as a police, once you collect your salary up to date, you don't have any excuse to be tempted. You don't have any excuse to be even with that, we still see what they do at the stations. All those are petty.
I'm happy you made that clarification.
Comrade, I want to come in. Hello, comrade.
Hello. Yes.
So with what you've just said now, because you are liable. So what you just said, I just want to chime something in. Are you saying because of the unsincerity of the financial interplay among these recruits is adding to the moral decadence that is affecting our security system? Is that what you're saying?
Of course. I think I was watching. I think I've said it here on this platform some times ago that I was watching a podcast or video on internet when one of the people that want to go and give ransom met the military checkpoint, and they collected out of the money. The person is taken to the kidnapper. They collected it, and he was telling them that this money is meant for the kidnappers. The military men on the checkpoint told him that when they get there, they should tell them that they have taken their own. And once they take the money to the kidnappers, they said the same thing, and the government said they should go. I don't know whether you are getting my point.
We get you, even though it's still an allegation.
That's the issue. We might be, because we're a media house and because of the, information, because of, we might be denying these things. Yes, I understand. But the reality is out there playing out. We might say we want to defend it on here. We might say you don't have evidence. We might say where is your proof? Yes, I understand that. You are correct. But the reality is playing out over, on the street. We can see it over there. Jemida said that I was listening to one former, not even former, national, what do you call him, security advisor to this present regime. When, I don't know whether he heard that story, when he was saying that they went ahead to, when the kidnap is causing, they went ahead to pay ransom. They went ahead to pay ransom. But they are saying that we should not pay ransom. Government is saying nobody should pay ransom. This is a special advisor to government on security matter. His cousin was arrested. After 3 months, they have been telling the police, nothing comes out. They have to pay.
Okay.
But they come and they say, where is your evidence? Where is your evidence? Yes, there is no evidence. But the fact remains that in practical reality, it's happening on the street. It's happening out there. We know it's happening.
Comrade, are you still with us?
Yes, I'm here. Hello.
Okay, now, with just as what you said, that you've chimed in that is what is causing the insincerity and the insecurity in the country. Does it also mean that the government is not doing its toll when it comes to these people? Because if you talk about the Minister of Defense being a former military person, chimed in about 100,000. So does it mean that the government budgetary and their salary system for the military is nothing to write home about, and the government are not doing their metal on this matter?
Yes, exactly, my brother. That's what we are seeing now. At least they came out. In fact, in the report I was reading now, they even said that they are planning a protest. They are planning a protest. And when I read that, I laughed. Because you people, when Nigerians are protesting, you are the same people that they will send out. Now that you want to protest, let's see what will happen. Isn't it? When Nigerians are protesting, it is these same ex-military men or these military men during the, what they call it, at the toll gate, during the NSAS. Are they not the same people, the military men that were sent out? But now it is not their turn. They want to protest. They now see protest as a tool. But when they are serving, protest is not a tool. Let's leave that. Now to your question. Yes, the government has failed. And in fact, this also makes me to begin to think, because there is I don't know whether you know, there is a video at the National Assembly recently when one of the senators or representative members was saying that this government have not, actually implement budgets for the past 2 years. I don't know whether you saw it. So, and if you look at that story, this money has been approved. The minimum wage of these military men has been approved and sanctioned by the president since 2025. Until now, they are saying they have not paid it. Does it really mean that this government have not been implementing budgets? Because they said it's in the budget. I read it. These people said the federal government, the presidency has sent 250,000 payment. Until today, they have not collected it. And it has been in the budget. So, this also called for our budget issue. Look at the issue of FPPIC, or what do you call the man that was arrested yesterday? This international, that man, Adeyemi. They are saying this is a fake ministry, and there is a budget of billions there for that same ministry in the budget. So, which means honestly, I'm short of words as regards. I don't know what to say again. I don't even know what to say. It is like I don't understand. Fake ministry, but have budget, military personnel budget that has been assigned to in the budget, they have not been paid. So what is happening to our, which means truly this government has not been implementing budgets. They are just writing figures and they are just spending money anyhow. I think the National Assembly, the person raised that concern is very correct. So which means the government have not been doing their best.
All right, so now, comrade, let's look at it this way. The 250,000 minimum pay itself, what impact what impact would it have and on our government budget, on the federal government budget itself? Because if you look at the 2026 security and defense budget, which was allocated, we see a total sum of 5.41 trillion naira. Now, a breakdown was done. Ministry of Defense gets 3.15 trillion naira. Ministry of Police Affairs 1.33 trillion naira. While service wide votes 840. That's for security votes. So our governors 844.31 billion naira. Ministry of Interior. That's under a conglomeration of immigration and civil defense and etc. Got 696.42 billion naira. Office of the National Security Advisor, NSA, has 664.12 billion naira. Now let's go to Ministry of Defense, 3.15 trillion naira. Can we say this allocation is too low for this military personnel, that they won't be, because like the veterans rightly stated, that 250,000 has already been approved and assented to by the president. So two things: what do you think is causing the delay, and secondly, do you think these monies are too low? That's the reason they could not meet up.
Well, if as they claim that it's already in the budget, then which means out of that 3 point something trillion that you just mentioned for the Ministry of Defense,
over 3 trillion naira for defense,
which means that payment is already in the budget. And I don't think they complain that it is too small. That is what they agreed on. That is what the president assent. So I want to believe, if truly is in the budget, then that money is part of that payment is part of that over 3 trillion, billion, whatever you call it now. So to me, I felt that it is still part of the ineffectiveness of the government, federal government. And don't forget that this was signed in 2025. And we are now in 2026, which means by now, at least we are in the 7th month now. By now, at least it's supposed to have collected that money at least 6 months past. So if the money has not been paid now, then the federal government needs to come out to tell us, maybe it is not yet in the budget. Maybe. Because, and that's why I'm saying that when that National Assembly man, I forgot the name of that man, was just shouting that this government has not been implementing budget. I don't understand. I begin to get confused about this country. I think a budget is a total expenditure of a country for a year, what they want to spend, isn't it? And if that money is already in the budget, and this is the middle of the year, they have started implementing the budget and they have not paid these people. So where is the money? These things, at times you don't even have, you begin to ask yourself the question, you begin to answer it yourself, and at the end of the day you get confused when you don't even know what to say. Because you just feel like, are we normal in this country? Are we okay at all? All these things bring headaches to you. You don't know how to talk. You don't know what to say. How can you have a budget of that magnitude, that money, salary of people in the budget, and this is 6 months, and they have not collected it? And it is because the military are coming out now. That is exactly what is happening in almost all ministry.
All right, but
that's what is happening.
But comrade, let's look at it this way. We have the Minister of Defense, Christopher Musa. If you have to look at it, he's a retired military personnel, and it is understandably that he should be in the best position to speak on behalf of these soldiers. But what do you think it's playing out? Can we say it is politics or corruption? Because it is the same Christopher Musa that came out to state to the general public that the take-home pay for soldiers is 100,000 naira. And even as a lot of people have come out to criticize him, that as in for him to garner that effrontery to come out to boldly make that sort of statement, isn't it shameful to the Nigerian government? And of course, which further goes to state that a lot of people have been right about the welfare of soldiers themselves.
It is only a country that has shame that will be shameful. As far as Nigeria is concerned, that is not a shameful thing. After all, if you read that statement, you know, he was saying the statement that it was actually increased from 40,000 naira to 100,000 naira and not 250,000 naira. That's what he's claiming. But however, I think we need to break down that budget. That trillion naira that was given to the ministry. Let's break it down. How does that money come to 3 trillion, over 3 trillion? Let's break it down. How much is the salary? How much is the, by then we're going to know whether actually they have implemented the agreement in the budget or not. Probably the government, the presidency just accent it. They have not. It has not been implemented in the budget. We should know, okay? But if it has actually been implemented in the budget, we should know. And I think, the statement also reads that thank God that even part of those people that make that recommendation.
But a quick one, because you're asking the question, if we have to do a breakdown to know if it has been included in the budget. But remember, it was a legislative agreement. It has been passed and assented to by the president. So invariably, what does that tell you?
That is what I'm saying, that for him to come out to say, no, it's still 100,000 naira, maybe, he's a step, he's a minister of defense. Okay? So I want to believe that he knows what he's saying. If he come out to say, no, it is 100,000 naira, maybe the budget that was given to his ministry, it is 100,000 naira that is there. So I that's why I said that it's an agreement, and I also said that don't forget that even he's a serving officer when this agreement was reached. In fact, he's part of those people that start on the round table to agree to this 250,000 naira. I mean, Christopher Musa, the Minister of Defense. He's starting then. So if for him to say that it's 100,000 naira, maybe let us give him that benefit of doubt that maybe what is in the budget is that 100,000 naira is saying. Probably it has not been implemented in the. That's what I'm saying. And that's why I said there is need for us to have the breakdown of that money sent to his ministry and see if probably the money, the payment has not been implemented in the 2026 budget. Of course, the government may accent it, may approve it, but we have seen a lot of things in this country. We have seen a lot.
But looking at that a public announcement of 100,000 naira, can we say in technicality he's trying to pass the message to the government to do better?
Of course,
because a lot of people have quoted him after context that at least he himself as a former soldier should understand the pains, the anguish these soldiers they go through, especially for those who live. You understand, to see another day, and for those who do not earn this meager pay.
I don't think it's against the minimum the increment. Christopher is not, and I think, like I said, that it's one of those people that championed when he was still serving. He's not against it. What he is saying, if I may understand him, is that look, this 250 you are saying is not yet being paid. What is being paid is 100,000 naira. That's what he's saying. And like you said, it could be a shot to the fact, you cannot actually come out to the government to say, no. But that, for making it public, will serve
and
as
also an indictment to the government itself, which assented.
Yes. So we should not conclude that because the government has assented, because the House has passed it, so it is in the budget already. We should not assume. We should not assume.
Okay, comrade.
Except, okay.
Comrade.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes.
we don't have much time, but with what you've said now, we know that when it comes to the military, most of the affair cannot be investigated because military budgetary funding, you can only see what we call PPT, paper printed text or paper printed theories. You cannot say you want to follow it one by one. So because of that, it is very, very difficult to follow up whether it is being embezzled or, but when we looked at some of their records here, we found out that they are posing that most of the projects are used for build house unit building projects. They mentioned that in Calabar, they mentioned in Akwa Ibom, they mentioned in other places. Now, with what you've just said, is it that since Gwabin, which is known as Christopher Musa, since he was part of the budgetary, is it saying that he did not have a clear picture of what he was doing then, or it was a little bit lacking luster because some allegation was the one that brought it up, that took him out of that office after he resigned? So, in a nutshell, do you think it was not being really sincere with the budgetary system, or the financial part of the military did not give him enough information to be able to pull this through, since there's a little bit higgy-haga on the final value of what is expected from him, both from the government and from the people, based on the budget? That's what I'm asking, please.
Well, I think he just made the Minister of Defense in the early months of this year, if I'm correct. So it is possible that the budget will have been, concluded before he became the Minister of Defense. So I don't think it is actually part of the budget, so to say. Okay, and then, like you said, that the military budget cannot be traced or cannot be, investigated. You are very correct, but we are talking about take-home salary. Either we like it or not, we know the numbers of our military personnel in this country. They have the number, probably 150,000 naira. 150,000 personnel, and 150,000 naira personnel into 250,000 naira monthly. We have a figure. We might not be able to trace or to budget. To break down the budget of their projects, but at least for salary scale, for take homes, that is easy to investigate. Take home, we are not talking about their own total budget. We are just talking about the parts, the parts that has to do with take home, the salary of person. So that could be investigated. If we know that, then we can know whether the government has actually started paying that 250 or not. And to me, I don't think like I said, it's never against the budget. It's never against the increment. I don't think Christopher is the problem here. I don't think so. It is still the same problem we're having all over the ministry. The ineffectiveness of our institutions, the ministries, the federal government, all sorts of things like that. And see, it is just that we don't know the implications of what FPPIC, that case of Adeyemi, brought to this nation. If the presidency can say that a ministry is fake, and that same ministry as office have over 300 staffs being paid, have budgets, have billions of naira in the budget, and they are saying it's a fake ministry. That scenario alone is enough for you to summon up our budgets and how we handle our financial,
and to show how far corruption is fighting us in this country. But now let's talk about let's still on Brigadier General Christopher Musa. If I have to look at it from your own standpoint, since he became the Minister of Defense December 4th, 2025, that was last year, do you see him representing more as a retired soldier or as a politician? To you?
No, to me, I think the man is there is a bit of how do I put it, improvement in our security arrangement in Nigeria ever since this man has become the Minister of Defense. Yes, to me, I think there is a bit of, there is morale, there is high morale, there is improvement. There are successes recorded. It may be tiny, it may be slow, but of course, I think he's doing so very well. At least in recent times, he's one of the best I've seen so far, honestly.
All right, as Labour are also laboring by demanding for periodic review of the pay, the take-home pay for their workers. But now let's look at for the military personnel. How often do you think their salary should be reviewed, considering the on and off inflation we'll be having, and even cost of living in Nigeria?
Like I said when we started, if the Labour can continue to ask for periodical review of salary, the same thing should go with the military too. Okay. We are in the same market. Okay. They don't have military market separately. So everybody should be carried along. All ministry should be carried along when it comes to negotiating the salary scale. It should be because military is only in this country that we handle our military men, our security operatives, as if they are just a common. Their jobs is like a medical, thing. They are very essential. There is no two ways to it. You need to treat them fairly.
Like they say, they are the heartbeat of the nation.
Yes, the frontliners.
Of course, because look at what is happening everywhere. Let them start paying this 250,000 naira now, and let them put, recruitment out. You will see that people will jump.
I'm sure, comrade, you apply.
Well, if they will accept me, they will.
Except for the age barrier. If they remove the age barrier, I'm sure somebody like Michael too would.
No, the thing there is just that we can go in for not full regular, just for advice.
See, let me tell you, I've said it. Increase this salary to 250, 300. When our coppers are passing out, ask them how many of you want to become military men. You will see people join.
From comment at all. All right, but quickly before we wrap up, because of our time now, what role should even the National Assembly say? What role should they play in ensuring that approved military welfare packages are implemented? Because it's quite demeaning, and it's embarrassing that certain package is being approved and it is yet to be implemented. So, what further action should be taken by the National Assembly?
Nigerian politics is different. Our National Assemblies are just toothless bulldog.
Okay.
Toothless bulldog.
You are the one saying that.
You are the one saying it from your.
It's from you.
As much as other people have called them rubber stamp.
We all know that. If not, how can a fake ministry enter budget? That budget not pass through the National Assembly. They did not defend that ministry. Did not come to defend that budget. No, those are the things. So it's only God. It's only God that can help us in this country. So it is their duty to make sure the budget was implemented to the letter. But thank God they are now even the one coming out to say for the past 2-3 years they have not implemented the budget. And do you know why they are crying out? Because some of their own allowances and constituency projects are not paid. And that is why they are coming out to say these things are in the budget. We have not collected it. So that's why they concluded that the budget has not been implemented. If it has not affected them, they wouldn't have come out. And see, it's an eye-opener to see how this country is being governed. I'm not going to say more than that. Thank you.
All right, comrade, we have to wrap up quickly, but in 30 seconds, your parting shot, your message to Nigerians, especially soldiers, dedicated, hard-working, patriotic soldiers?
How do you advise somebody that is working tirelessly and not getting paid? Should I tell them to continue putting their best?
Come on, just word of encouragement, please. Anything, because. Hello, comrade. Hello, comrade. Can you hear us?
You just have to continue to.
Okay.
Yes. We will continue to pray for them, support them, and we are going to make sure that their 250,000 naira is implemented. Don't worry. We'll fight for you. When you start the protest, we join. I think one of the best. Okay. Yes, one of the best way to encourage them. and they too. Whenever citizens are protesting for their rights, they should tell their organ not to send them to come and start shooting.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, comrade. All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
You had Comrade Daniel Choden, the social political analyst, have done justice there, and we both have enjoyed his company, and he's also liable to what he has said. That most of these suggestions that is obliged to most of our guests is for their own view. No, we don't have any premature. We don't engage them before now. On this note, I want to say thank you very much to everybody in the MCR. Thank you very much to those of you viewers, and thank you very much for those of you who are yet to call and those who have called before. I am Michael Armstrong. I want Precious Olushayo to wrap up because I'll soon be here.
All right. See something, say something. Stay safe, Precious Olushayo.
Waste disposal has become one of the greatest challenges of modern city, especially in crowded cities. When waste is poorly managed, it pollutes the environment, spreads disease, fuels climate change, and threatens sustainable development. Today, proper waste management is not just a civic duty, it is a public health necessity. Waste comes in many forms. Household waste like food scraps, plastics, and paper. Medical waste such as syringes and used gloves. Industrial waste from factories. Electronic waste like phones, batteries, and computers. And hazardous materials that are toxic or corrosive. Each type requires safe handling and specialized disposal to protect people and the planet. Improperly discarded waste has severe consequences. Open dumps become breeding grounds for pests and diseases. Plastics and other non-biodegradable clog waterways, kills wildlife and pollutes our air. Methane gas from rotten waste adds to global warming, and toxic liquids from landfills seep into soil and underground water, contaminating the water we drink. Experts say it starts with simple steps. Waste should be separated at the source into recyclables, organics, and other refuse. Plastics, glass, paper, and metals should be recycled, while organic waste can be composted. Hazardous and medical waste must be disposed of only through licensed facilities. Most importantly, all waste should end up at designated government-approved sites, not on our streets, rivers, or empty lots. Community education plays a key role, helping people understand that their daily habits have long-term effects. Government and industries have their own responsibilities to provide waste bins, recycling centers, and efficient collection services, and to follow environmental regulations strictly. But citizens also have power by consuming mindfully, joining cleanup drives, reporting illegal dumping, and supporting recycling initiatives. The proper disposal of waste is not optional. It is a foundation of healthy cities, clean water, safe air, and a sustainable future. If individuals, communities, industries, and governments work together, waste will no longer be a threat, but a resource managed with purpose and care.
Okay, welcome to Sports on Operatune Television. This is Operatune Sports, and I'm none other than Michael Armstrong that want to do justice. And on sports, I am called the starter force because I know precision, I know passion, and I know progress. Now, let's precision, passion, and progress. I'll explain that to you in a jiffy. But before I continue, I just want to chime in. We want to celebrate that should be celebrated and talk about that will be talked about. Now we're starting with athletics. Now athletics, we're talking of none other than Toby Amuso. She is from Ogun State. Toby Amuso, that's the person you're seeing on your screen. She has just made it to the final. She has a world record. She's the fastest woman on earth. She is one of the fastest women on earth. She has broken more records. She has also won more points. The Nigerian sprint hurdler Toby Amuso has officially secured qualification for the 2026 Wonder Diamond League final in Brussels. Some people call it Brussels, but it's Brussels in English. She qualified for adding 28 points from her first 5 Diamond League meetings in the women's 100 hurdles, placing her second in the standing behind American hurdler Maisa Russell, who leads with 32 points. The Diamond League final is scheduled for September 4 and 5, 2026 in Belgium. In Brussels, in Belgium. Amuso is still, it still has an opportunity to compete in the remaining Diamond League meetings in London, Lausanne, Silesia, and Zurich before the final. That is the Diamond League. Like I told you, they have a league. They play. The athletes, they have a league they play. I hope the MCR have the picture where she was holding a world record. That is Amuso. She hails from Ogun State. Her parents hail from Ogun State. Even her grandparents are still in Ogun State. That is world record, meeting record, and trying to surpass record. That was when she was in Silesia last season. Now we hope we have enough kudos for Amuso making it to the final with all points. Amuso will be aiming for her first Diamond League title having previously claimed the Diamond League trophy 3 consecutive times from 2021 to 2023. Amuso, I support you. I want you to make it to that league and also surprise the world with the wonder that you bring. You bring joy and hope to people. Like I told you, passion, precision, and progress. You must have the passion for it. You must be able to plan, be able to get your winning strategy, because there's no sports person that does not win, because your level of speed shows your level of preparedness and your level of involvement. That is not to say that somebody did not get the crown. And Musa, kudos from Operatune Television, from those people who admire you, and from those people who believe you can perform better. You are the wonder of the world. Yes, that's coming from Operatune Television, from the Estado Force, from Michael Armstrong on sport. From athletics, we want to chime into some of the things we showed you on the daily. That is all for athletics. We just spoke about Musan. Well, yes, from that we're going in to what you'll be waiting for. Most of you like sports. Most of you say football. Most of you say other things. I want to take you to the world of Tour de France. What you'll be seeing on your screen is something we said in one of the dailies. That is the Morning Star Sports. Morning Star Sports will be shown on your screen. Then we'll just give you full stories on touch-up of what the Morning Star Sports has been telling you about. On the Morning Star Sport, with some of our correspondents, we find out that Pogacar extends Tour de France lead on Bastille Day. Now, on Bastille Day, we have Pogacar. Morning Star Sports, the dailies that will be shown on your screen. Now, Tadej Pogacar extended his lead in the Tour de France with a Bastille Day stage win yesterday and put him on the fray. Yes, he has had so many frustrations in 2 years ago, but Pogacar went solo with a little over 15 kilometers remaining of the 166.6 kilometer mountain stage into Le Lorient. Yes, that he was able to do that. Now, Pogacar is from Slovakia. The Slovakian was monetary mentioned, and the Slovakian was not weak. The Slovakian continued performing, and as we would have seen, the title time is not from the gap. He is also aiming at the title. This time, the gap between him and the next few centimeters is not much. In 4 seconds today, that human rights group Fair Square says that Infantino, who became the IOC member in 2020, has repeatedly breached the Olympic Charter and the IOC's code of ethics. Most recently, in his handling of the Folarin Balogun affair, the U.S. striker one-match ban was suspended by FIFA disciplinary committee, freeing him up to play against the World Cup opponent in the round of 16. Now, the big thing there is this. It should not be a problem, because FIFA, based on the FIFA constitution and based on the quagmire of the game, FIFA have rights to do justice to any card. They have rights to waive a card. Now, the waiver is not really through bribery or other things, but let's see what the IOC will say. And those of you following the story, Gianni Infantino is not new when it comes to all this kind of thing. Gianni Infantino's birthday is coming up shortly, and he's also hoping that this situation will be swept under carpet. Now, another concern for today, what you are seeing on your screen, is that saying that we hope that the hand of God will not happen when it comes to football today. Let me take you to the next play where you see Adios France. France was not able to hold their own. France was matched toe-to-toe. We had Olise not able to Olise. Dembele dribbled and wobbled in the Dembele. Then we have the one, Kylian Mbappe, could not go for the kill. The Jagula was drawn away. He was fast. He was furious, but he was not forthcoming. The goals, lackluster. Unai Simon Bakola started early. Yes, we are just chiming in on football. Chiming in on football and the World Cup. And the next thing you'll be seeing on your screen is the Herald Sport. We are taking this cue from the Herald Sport. The Herald Sport is saying that adios France. So France has gone home, but they have one match to play, the third time. Now, I'm not surprised that France lost because I've been telling people that France will lose, but I support France to win. But I told them that France might lose because I don't trust the state of mind of the gaffer. Why? Didier Deschamps just lost the mother during this World Cup. Didier Deschamps was 7 days away from the team and his assistants were doing the justice. Didier Deschamps came back, star-studded, with a steady look, preparing to do the job. But the steam is not there. That is why Didier Deschamps is lackluster. They are short on target. Let me just read some things to you about what happened in the World Cup. Now, yesterday, the semi-final was slotted out between Le Bleu and Al Fura de Roja. La Roja means royalty. It means royal. So La Roja yesterday on football, they were able to hold their own. We have Yamal. He did Yama to them. Then from Yamal, we also have Mikel Orisa Jabal. Mikel Orisa Jabal scored the first goal. After scoring the first goal, then we have the picture. The winner was done by Pedro Porro. Pedro Porro. He came in, he Pedro, and he porroed. He porro means porous. He find a porous in the defense. The star-studded defense of France. Just like Vincent Nyama said, stars don't play football, but people do. The reward for passion. Stars don't play football. That's what you're hearing. Oyarzabal got a penalty in the 22nd minute after a foul from the duo of Upamecano and one of their distant. And we don't know if Conte was there. Then the match was started. Then after that, it was 1-0 in the first half. Then the second half, we have Danny Olmo in the 58th minute. He started a pass before you know. Look at him. The right back that attacked forwardly. Right back. He has been showing his mettle in Tottenham. He has been also for a very long time. He has won cups in Europe. He's also showing his mettle in the league. We also have Cucurella, also called the Cucurucu of defense. Now, if you're coming, when you hear Cucurucu, you know there is a Cucurella. He has come, he came, he saw, and he conquered. There was a last-minute ball from Kylian Mbappe. Instead of him to tap it in, he was just trying to romance the ball. Before you know, the Cucurucu happened. He was Cucurucu'd out of his leg. Now we know that Kylian Mbappe is the man of his words, but they say he has a lot of pride. Even his former strikers, his former mentors, told him from France, said, Kylian Mbappe, you have a problem when it comes to attitude. That cocky attitude did not pay out because if you're not respecting people, you should expect that what people are respecting might not respect you. You can be rich does not mean you have the influence of people around you. Riches can be for one person, but influence is for that one person who have the wherewithal of humanity in his mind. Like I said, the voice of man is the voice of God. So, not to talk about much, Kylian Mbappe in the 86th minute was gifted the yellow card. Didier Deschamps was sweating. He could not hold his own. That is what you're seeing on your screen. The goal was scored, was won and lost. Then finally, they brought in their magician, Mikel Merino, the Arsenal gaffer, the magician, the joker, the one who comes and everything is settled. I call him the Deus Ex Machina. Yes, Deus Ex Machina means the machinery of God, the magician that just came. And at his presence, he saw and told them, Sokeke, the game is over. Almighty France, adios. See you in the next 4 years if you qualify, but if not, stay tuned to the station as I'm taking you to the next paper. The next thing we discuss about, let us give you a potpourri of what is happening in the world of sports. Now in the world of sports, They'll be bringing one thing in your front, and what is in your front is we just want to chime in there. Like this, we want to chime in one or two things, and one or two things we want to chime in is we're taking you to what was discussed. I just give you details of what happened in the World Cup. Then what are we expecting today? Then we're putting on your screen Too Hot for France. La Roja marched into the first final since 2010. The first final since 2010. La Roja is the name of the national team of France. That is what you're seeing on your screen. Now, there are a lot of controversy. We have a hand of God coming in for the World Cup today. Today is the Lions against the Alba Celeste, known as the Celestial Being, known as the Argentum, which is known as Argentina. Now, Diego Armando Maradona, if you don't know, has been one of the gaffer of Argentina and has also been a mentor to even Lionel Messi. But presently, Lionel Messi have surpassed everything. Diego Armando Maradona. The prayer for our kids is, or for parents, is our kids be better than us. But as it is now, let's see if the hand of God will not play today. The hand of God in 1986. I will not forget that game. All their best could not do. That same year, in 1986, we have Paolo Rossi was the Italy best player. We have Dino Zoff. We also have other teams. They were able to stop these people while the Germans now came to give them a shovel up. Argentina was shoveled up. But as it is now, we have Diego Armando's mentee, which is Lionel Messi. He has surpassed his mentor. Now we're also seeing Kick Kane. Will the Three Lions able to face on the Alba Celeste? Will the Three Lions able to face on the Argentum? Will the Three Lions be able to rewrite their rivalry and put the devil to shame? Yes, the devil was knocked out. The Red Devil was knocked out by the same Spanish people that won yesterday. Now let's see what England will do. Today is the day of the World Cup. England is playing against the almighty Argentina. The allegation there is that Argentina have a high hand. Argentina is Infantino's team. Argentina is supported by FIFA, especially Lionel Messi, the only goat without a cord on his neck, the only goat that cannot be your pot of soup, the only goat that cannot be cooked is Lionel Messi, the goat that is just showing everywhere and goating all around. Yes, let's use that word, goating all around. Yes, you can go around 8 p.m. today, local time. You can see when the Argentum against the Three Lions. So don't miss that game for anything. Then Nigeria is presently in Casablanca, but before they continue with what they are doing in Casablanca to defend the WAFCON title, they are going to play a friendly with Ghana. Now, why friendly with Ghana? Ghana has similarity when it comes to femaling. The Ghanaian female are very forward. They are very strong when it comes. They drive tippers and truck. They often have some things males do, but they could not win the WAFCON. Their male have won the WAFCON. So as it is now, the Ghanaian female are always seeing Nigeria as their testing heights. They want to get to the Nigerian female. But like I tell you, the Falcons, so Nigeria having 110 of the AFCON is not a joke. That is that on the preparation of the AFCON and the World Cup. The teaser for the World Cup is this. When playing against an international team for the games, 39 goals and 18 assists, he faces England for the first time today. That's the first time Lionel Messi is facing England. Will he be able to rewrite the history and show the thing Armando Maradona did? With the hand of God, will Lionel Messi bring the hand of FIFA? Let us see this. Let us stay tuned on the station. We will bring you the critics, the lyrics, and all the information. Now, like I told you before, I just want to chime in to wrap up with what is happening in the world of transfer. Fulham has lost Marco Silva. They have a new coach. They want Nwewu. Nwewu is the player Fulham are going for. It's a Nigerian. Then from there, Alonso said he wants Enzo Fernandez to stay. Enzo Fernandez is the Langley midfielder in the Argentine team. He said he wants him to stay because already have Mohamed Salah, out of the Liverpool team. So Ariola is trying to boost out the team against next season. He says he will build the team from step to step, that he knows what the Premiership wants, and the Liverpoolians never walk alone slogan is a slogan that he will carry the fans along. They smiled, they were happy, but don't forget, Liverpool is not burning out. They are ready for results. But like the game will say, we have precision, passion, precision, and progress. Still on transfer, Alvarez reject Arsenal, and then we also have Man United got Dalot for free, just as they've signed Yuri Telemans. That is a very good one. And just not to give you too much of more story, Real Madrid is still waiting for an answer from the Bavarian royalties. They are the owner of Bayern München. They call it München. It could be Bayern Munich, but Germans call it Bayern München. München, which is also known as the Bayern machine, German machine. They say they are waiting for the German machine, the Madrigal, which is known Real Madrid, Lo Blanco, the great Galacticos. They are waiting for an answer. They've just bidded for Olis with 220 million euros. See money. Bololo has been sent here. Now, that is all we'll be having for you on sports. Don't forget, it is the Astana Force. Passion, precision, and progress. It's the Astana Force. We want the MCR to bring us back to the studios because we are done and dusted on this topic. Now, not to stay more on this topic, we have just told you that this show will be extended to an hour. Yes, 45 minutes to 50 minutes, we'll be rounding up, and we have sponsors, visitors. We also have people that will be commenting on this show just for your peruse, just for your enjoyment. And this is how I stamp it. Sign out. I have dotted my I's and I've crossed my T's. Saying now we're going to see here at the same time tomorrow, the Astana Force, known as Michael Armstrong, is saying, Arrivederci, enjoy your day and stay away from trouble. See you tomorrow, God willing.
Hello, so don't forget to join me every week on Operatune TV for the Communication Experience with your favorite host, Dr. Shure, where we turn pronunciation into entertainment, where pronunciation evolve into an unforgettable moment. This is the Communication Experience show on Sunday, 4 to 4:30 every week, live for the Communication Experience.
ụwa gburugburu mgbe ọma ndị eji eje mba. Aha m bụ Oriakụ Chioma Okoro Agụ Oyoyo. Anyị na-anabata unu n'ihe mmemme ọhụrụ anyị bụ nzukọ ndị Igbo na Operatune.
Oriakụ Sophie Akwugo Bonny Adaejeje mba. Anyị na-anabata unu na ihe mmemme ọhụrụ nke anyị na-eme na Operatune TV.
Igbo Chukwu kere n'ụzọ pụrụ iche n'ụbọchị pụrụ iche. Kechaa ha lechaa ha kpọọ ha TV.
N'ihe mmemme a anyị ga na-awa na-atakwa ọjị.
Anyị ga na-emekwe isiokwu si na mmemme a.
Anyị ga na-ewebatakwara unu
Ihe mmemme a pụrụ iche bụ nzukọ ndị Igbo ga na-adị ụbọchị Wenezdee ọbụla site n'elekere 6 nke mgbede rute n'elekere 7 n'Operatune TV. Anyị ga-akụzikwa asụsụ na omenala Igbo na ihe mmemme a. Anyị na-akpọkọ Igbo ma ndị nọ n'obodo a ma ndị nọ n'ala Igbo ma ndị nọ n'ofesi si ha bịa kwado ihe mmemme pụrụ iche maka ndị Igbo iwelite asụsụ na omenala Igbo elu. Nzukọ ndị Igbo na Operatune TV.
Igbo amaka.
Igbo amaka.
Nzukọ ndị Igbo.
Ọgbakọ ndị Igbo niile.
I welcome everyone to Operatune TV to a program I called Dominion Night that takes place every Thursday by 7:30 to 8:30 p.m. Let me tell you, this program is slated for life transformation, deliverance from every mixed into messages, family freedoms, God's hand appearing in situations that want to swallow you. So I am happy to receive you in Operatune TV every time.